We continue our discussion on transients with RC series circuit. The RC series circuit, as the name suggests, consists of a series resistor and a capacitor. And the topic will be discussed under two headings: charging of the capacitor and the discharging of the capacitor. This figure shows a series RC circuit. Along with the capacitor, resistor, and the voltage source E, there is a switch K. On closing the switch K at time t equal to 0, the capacitor will be charged through the resistor R by the battery of EMF E. The mechanism of charging is as follows. When the switch K is closed, the electrons move to the plate P2 from the negative terminal of the battery. The same number of electrons move out of the plate P1 into the positive terminal of the battery. Thus, the plates P1 and P2 of the capacitor become positively and negatively charged respectively. And this is known as the charging of the capacitor. The current IT that flows in the circuit is called the charging current. With the passage of time, more and more charges accumulate on the plates of the capacitor, increasing thereby the voltage across the capacitor. This increase of the capacitor voltage opposes the current IT, which thus decreases with time and becomes zero when the capacitor voltage equals the driving EMF E. The joule heat dissipated in the resistance R due to the charging current plus the energy stored in the capacitor is equal to the energy supplied by the driving battery. We shall now do the analysis of the circuit. Let, at any instant of time t, after closing the key K, the voltage across the capacitor be VCT and that across the resistance be VRT. To formulate the differential equation for this circuit, we use the Kirchhoff's voltage law equation or the EMF equation. When we write the Kirchhoff's voltage law for this circuit, this will be VC times T plus VR times T will be equal to E. Now we have the equation for the current as given in terms of the charge as dq over dt. And the charge stored in the capacitor at time t is given by q equal to C times Vc. That is, we have Vct equal to q over C and Vrt as given by R times I, and this is equal to R times dq over dt. So let us call this as equation 1, and when we rewrite equation 1, we have q over C plus R times dq over dt equal to E, or from this equation we have dq over E minus q over C equal to dt over R. We call this as equation number. In the next step, we will integrate this equation. So when we do the integration, this is negative C times natural logarithm of E minus q over C, which is equal to T over R plus C3. Here C3 is the constant of integration and we have to find out C3. For that, we have at t equal to 0, q is also equal to 0. And this gives us C3 equal to negative of C natural logarithm of E. And when we substitute this back into the equation, we have natural logarithm of e minus q over c divided by e equal to negative of t over cr, or we'll get q as equal to e times c times 1 minus e raised to minus t over cr. We'll substitute q0 as equal to e times c, where q0 is the final charge on the capacitor. So that means that as t tend to infinity, q tend to q0. And therefore, the final equation for the charge is q equal to q0 times 1 minus e raised to minus t over cr. And this equation gives the growth of the capacitor charge. So this quantity is shown graphically in this plot. On the x-axis we have time, and on the y-axis we have charge. We see that the charge increases exponentially with time until it reaches the steady state value, which is CE. So what you see here, this straight line represents the steady state value CE. We define a new quantity, the time constant, as tau equal to C times R. And in terms of the time constant, we have the charge as equal to Q0 times 1 minus e raised to negative t over tau. When t becomes equal to tau, we have Q equal to Q0 times 1 minus 1 over e, and this is equal to 0.63 times Q0. From this we can define the time constant as the time taken for a capacitor to acquire 0.63 or 63% of its final maximum charge. The capacitor acquires nearly 98% of its final charge in 4 time constants. Thus, the time constant measures the rapidity with which the steady state is attained, as in the series RL case. We can go for an alternative definition for the time constant by drawing a tangent to the curve at t equal to 0. So as we have seen, this curve represents the exponential growth of charge in the capacitor, and when we draw a tangent to this line at t equal to 0, it goes like this and intercepts with the CE line. When we drop the line downwards, what we get is tau, which is equal to CR. Therefore, we can have an alternate definition for the time constant as the time in which the capacitor would be fully charged if it was allowed to charge at the initial rate. The corresponding charging current is given by I equal to dq over dt, and this is equal to q0 over c times r, then e raised to minus t over cr. From here, the current I is equal to I0 times e raised to minus t over cr. This equation clearly indicates that with increasing time, the current I decays exponentially with a time constant tau equal to c times r. We shall write the expression for the voltage drop across the resistor dRt as equal to R times I, and this is equal to Q0 over C times e raised to minus t over CR, which is equal to E times e raised to minus t over CR. The voltage drop across the capacitor similarly is given by total voltage minus drop across the resistor, and this is equal to E times 1 minus e raised to minus t over CR. And this figure shows the variation of VR and VC with time. We see as time progresses, the voltage drop across the capacitor exponentially increases until it reaches the saturation value at E. Correspondingly, the voltage across the resistor exponentially decreases. We now come to the second part of our discussion, that is the discharging of the capacitor. During the discharge of the capacitor, we have to isolate the battery E from the circuit. Therefore, we consider a circuit that consists only of the capacitor and the resistor. And this can be achieved by means of the switch K. The switch K is initially at position E so that the capacitor is fully charged to Q0 equal to C times E. The switch is then moved quickly from position E to position D at time t equal to 0. Let us now discuss about the mechanism. When charged, the plate P1 of the capacitor is positive while the plate P2 is negative. The plate P2 thus has a surplus of electrons and plate P1 has a deficit of electrons. The movement of the switch to D closes the path A, B, C, D, and electrons move from plate P2 to plate P1 through this closed path. The conventional current flow is opposite to the direction of flow of the electrons. The flow of electrons or the current continues till the potential difference between the plates P1 and P2 reduces to 0. The phenomenon in which charge stored on the capacitor gradually decays is known as the discharge of the capacitor. The corresponding current is called the discharging current. In the discharging process, the electrostatic energy of the capacitor is dissipated as the Joule heat in the resistance R. In the closed path ABCD, the driving EMF is 0, so that the EMF equation is Q over C plus R times dq over dt is equal to 0. Here Qt is the charge on the capacitor at any instant of time t after the switch is moved to position D. If It is the instantaneous current, we have It equal to dq over dt. Therefore, this equation can be rewritten as dq over q as equal to negative of dt over C times R. Upon integration, this equation yields natural logarithm of q equal to negative of t over CR plus integration constant C4. To evaluate the integration constant, we have at time t equal to 0, q equal to q0, that is the maximum charge on the capacitor. So this gives us C4 as equal to natural logarithm of q0. Therefore, the equation can be written as natural logarithm of q over q0 equal to negative of t over CR, or this can be written as q equal to q0 times e raised to minus t over CR. This equation shows that the charge on the capacitor decays exponentially with time. Like in the previous case, we shall try to define the time constant here. We define the time constant τ as equal to C times R. At t equal to τ, that is equal to CR, we have q equal to q0 over E, or this is equal to 0.37 times q0. So from this we can define the time constant as the time in which the capacitor charge falls to 0.37 or 37% of its initial value. And in 4 time constants, the capacitor charge drops nearly to 2% of the initial charge. The discharging time is therefore roughly 4 times τ. This shows the discharge curve of the capacitor, where this function is mathematically q equal to q0 times e raised to minus t over CR. And this point is 0.37 times q0. When we extend this line to intersect at the curve, and then when we drop it to the x-axis, what we get is τ. As before, when we drop a tangent to this exponentially decaying curve at t equal to 0, this line cuts the time axis at t equal to τ. Consequently, the capacitor would fully discharge in one time constant if its charge decays at the initial rate. The discharging current is given by IT equal to dq over dt, and this is equal to negative of q0 over CR times e raised to minus t over CR. So there is a negative sign in this equation, and this indicates that the current IT flows in the direction opposite to that assumed in the analysis. The maximum value of IT is q0 over CR, and that occurs at t equal to 0. The instantaneous voltage across the resistor VRT is given by R times IT, and this is equal to q0 over C times e raised to minus t over CR with a negative sign, and this is equal to E times e raised to minus t over CR. The voltage across the capacitor is given by Q over C, and this is equal to Q0 over C e raised to minus t over CR, or this is equal to E times e raised to minus t over CR. The negative sign in VRT indicates that the polarity of the voltage drop across the resistance R is opposite to that assumed in the analysis. The plot of VR is as shown here, and that of VC is shown here. We shall work out two problems in this section. The first one goes like this. A capacitor of capacitance 0.5 microfarad and leakage resistance 10 mega ohm is charged to a certain voltage and then insulated. Find the time the voltage will take to fall to half its original value. So we have a series capacitor and resistor which are connected like this. So this is the key. C, R and E. When the capacitor of capacitance C discharged through a resistance R, the charge on the capacitor at time t is given by Q equal to Q0 e raised to minus T over CR. Here Q0 is the initial charge on the capacitor. Here C is equal to 0.5 times 10 raised to minus 6 farads. R equal to 10 power 10 raised to 6 ohms. And Q over Q0 has been given in the problem as half. Therefore, we have time t equal to CR times natural logarithm of Q0 over Q, and this is equal to 2.303 times CR logarithm to the base 10 then Q0 over Q. So this is equal to 2.303 times 0.5 times 10 raised to minus 6 times 10 raised to 7 times log to the base 10 of 2. And this turns out to be 3.47 seconds. Problem 2. The charge on a lossless capacitor of value 1 microfarad falls to 50% of its initial value in 5 minutes when the two plates of the capacitor are joined by an unknown resistance. What is the value of the resistance? That means that we have a capacitor which is initially charged and we have connected a resistor across its two plates. Now, according to the previous equation that we have seen, T equal to CR times natural logarithm of Q0 over Q. And from here, we can write the equation for R as T over C times natural logarithm of Q0 over Q. Or this is equal to T over 2.303 C times log to the base of 10 times Q0 over Q. Given that time t equal to 5 times 60 seconds, the capacitance C as equal to 1 to the power of 10 raised to 6 farads and Q0 over Q as equal to 2. Hence, the value of the resistor R equal to 5 times 60 over 2.303 times 10 raised to minus 6 log to the base 10 of 2. When we calculate this, the value turns out to be 432 times 10 raised to 6 ohms, or this is equal to 432 mega ohms. These are the review questions from this part. Find the expression for the growth and decay of charge on a capacitor connected in series with a resistor. The second question, a series RC circuit excited by a source of constant voltage switches on a time t equal to 0. Answer the following questions. What do you mean by the time constant of the circuit? B. When can the transient be said to practically die out? C. What are the steady state current in the circuit and steady state voltage across the capacitor? D. When will the rate of growth of charge on the capacitor be maximum? What is the maximum growth rate? So try to answer these questions. We shall meet for the next video.